On Meet the CEO, Zimbabwe.
When you know you have a dream,
work.
dream just a series grinding all night. Never stop, we gon' make it alright. Dream just a series grinding all night. Never stop, we gon' make it alright.
They said the bigger the struggle, the bigger the breakthrough. I had to get on my knees and started praying to Jesus. Not a loser, I'm a winner. I'm a win till I die. In the valley of the shadow, I see the light which is God. I'm not just working for bones and bronze, I'm working for God. In the name of Jesus Christ, I know that I'm a living testimony. Life is what you make of it, is what you get from it. Life is how
It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, brought to you by Eswatini TV. I'm Sunny Boingon. I'm with Zamanza Manza. We're coming to you live from the Hospital Hill studios in Babane for your top stories at 8. Let's dive straight into it and take a look. Inkosatana Sakizwe has led maidens in cutting the reed at Mbis Farm Reed site. Thousands of maidens went to cut the reed at Kapamsak in huge numbers while led by His Majesty's Makosatana. The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Her Royal Highness Princess Kanyiso, says innovation and science is key to the country's economic development. Hello again, and now for the news in detail. Inkosatana Sakizwe has led maidens in cutting the reed at Mbis Farm Reed site. This follows the commissioning of maidens by His Majesty King Eswatini III on Wednesday.
Inkosatana Sakizwe led the cutting of the reed at Mbisi Farm, where maidens set out in a jovial mood to cut the reed. Inkosatana was followed by other princesses. The thousands of maidens invaded the reed site and proceeded to cut the reed. The expectation from their majesties is that maidens should fetch quality reed. They did not break that tradition as they managed to fetch impressive reed bangles. Inkosatana Sakizwe reflected on the reed cutting activity and further invited the nation to the main day of the reed dance ceremony at Eswatini Royal Residence.
Sasa sitawushuka sibuyele siye esigodlweni elitsitsini siyobika enkosini ukuthi sesibuye nawo umhlanga emva kwaloko langa lekuphumula emva kwaloko ke bese ke sesiyagidza silahla umhlanga on the 3rd ebese ke emva kwaloko kuba nale main day ngale holiday sigidze phinze bese emva kwaloko imbali itawuchubeka iyendi kudiphethe on the 6th of September.
Ngokugcina ngosibonga athi nje kumemasive ngelanga lelikhulu lemkhosi ukuthi siphelele khona elitsitsini sivile ukuthi indawo nendalo ebukwako nkosi.
tabe kukuhle kakhulu lo tawugetha lokhu tabe atigethele yena utawuva buhlungu kepha angasithola ku-TV kepha vele nakafuna kubona kona mbamba aketele esigodlweni elithithini atawukhona lokubona vele ukuthi hawu siphethe wona lo mhlanga netimfombi netiphume nje hawu siphelele.
On the news, I'm Sandile Makanya reporting from PC Farm.
Thousands of young maidens went to cut the reed at Kapamsaka in huge numbers while led by His Majesty's Eswatini. Her Royal Highness, who was leading the maidens at Kapamsaka, expressed gratitude to their Majesties for giving maidens such an opportunity to gather in this manner. Now, a detailed report on this story shall follow suit. We shall now continue with the news. The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Her Royal Highness Princess Eswatini, says innovation and science is key to the country's economic development. The minister was speaking during an honorary ceremony for 3 transformational leaders.
The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology says the role of science and technology is to lead national development and to support socio-economic needs. The Minister of ICT, Her Royal Highness Princess Eswatini, has honored Nozizwe Mlela Zulu, Mvilawempe Dlamini, and Dr. Stanley Maphosa as transformational leaders. These leaders are now associate members of the Kingdom of Eswatini's Academy of Sciences, GIAS.
Congratulations to Queen Nozizwe Mlela Zulu, and congratulations again goes to Mr. Mvilawempe Dlamini. Dr. Stanley Maphosa, you are ambassadors of the Academy and the National System of Innovation in Eswatini.
The recipients made their remarks with Mvilawempe Dlamini, represented by Tulani Fagutse.
Science and technology is very important for us, our lives as a whole. And if I say our lives, it's all the way from birth, school, all the way to the university, tertiary, and even in the workplace, our industries.
His passion for youth participation in the activities and the work of the commission, and he's demonstrated that in many aspects.
I thrive in seeing young people participate in some of these areas. Secondly, I thrive to see women participating in some of these areas.
The minister also implored the rewarded members to contribute towards the country's economic development. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekhoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini. Babane.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, urges farmers and all stakeholders in the sector to be united in order to produce enough food in preparation for El Nino that is predicted to hit Eswatini. The minister said this during the Africa Cooperative Action Trust Asset Summit, which was held at Mhlambanyatsi constituency.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, says smart climate agriculture can help in the fight against drought. The minister was represented by the ministry's principal secretary, Sidney Sumelane. The PS says the ministry is aware that the world is battling climate change. He adds that climate change destroys crops in the field. He says by using smart climate agriculture, Eswatini will never.
Smart agriculture, smart climate agriculture, lesikhombisa ukuthi sidawukhona ukuthi siphile singafike esigabeni lapho khona seseswele kudla njengelive leMaswati.
ACAT Director Enoch Dlamini encourages Emaswati to start agricultural cooperatives. Dlamini says such gatherings like the one held at Mhlambanyatsi had a positive outcome in the agricultural sector.
Loku ingayizivela eMhlambanyatsi. Ngilokuthi leti inhlangano angithi tonke leticaliwe leleti tongako diphinze tibolekise. Kuphindze kube neti nemakomiti lokuthiwa dambulelo leleti akhiwa kuleti inhlangano ngokuthi nangabe sekubita ukuthi khona kufanele sasikhulumele sonke siyawubuka esambulelweni.
Speaking on behalf of the cooperatives is Lindiwe Zwane. Zwane challenges the youth to be part of the cooperatives. She says through cooperatives, it is easy to get help from the constituency.
Sifike safundziswa ukuthi nawonga kuyakusida kukusitelela ikusasa kuthi umndeni wakho ube ngilophilile.
In the year 2015-2016, the country suffered devastating effects of El Nino, which left about 80,000 livestock dead. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, visual source from the Ministry of Agriculture Communications Department.
We now revert back to a full detailed report on this story. Thousands of young maidens went to cut the reed at Kapamsak, and huge numbers were led by His Majesty Makosatana. Her Royal Highness, who was leading the maidens at Kapamsak, expressed gratitude to their majesties for giving maidens such an opportunity to gather in this manner.
This is one of Eswatini's beautiful and oldest cultural events, and it serves as a profound respect Emaswati has towards culture and heritage. Following His Majesty's command, which instructed the young Imbali regiment to proceed to Bamsake to fetch the reed, the regiment followed His Majesty's order as is, while led by their Royal Highnesses, the princesses and Imbali leader, the Maidens on Thursday went to Bamsake swamp to cut the reed. They left the Luyengani Royal Crow with excitement. Along the way, the Maidens were singing and walking with energy, which was a way of showing their excitement and pride of taking part in this beautiful and historic cultural event. Upon arrival at the swamp, the Royal Highnesses led the regiment in cutting the reed by being the first ones to cut. Her Royal Highness Princess Buhle Betive was first to cut the reed. Her Royal Highness Princess Demave followed in cutting her reed as well. Another princess was Her Royal Highness Princess Nigudumo. Her Royal Highness Princess Mpilwenhle followed. Thereafter, and then Her Royal Highness Princess Sabusizwa was the last princess to cut the reed. Imbali leader also went into the swamp, and then the whole regiment went into the swamp to cut the reed and was able to fetch good and usable reed from the swamp. Her Royal Highness Princess Buhle Betive has encouraged Maidens to continue maintaining and preserving their Umhlanga culture. The princess also expressed gratitude to their majesties for this beautiful and important opportunity given to Imbali.
Ongcacane bongasimakathi ugcine imbali sihambe indlela yethu beyihle kakhulu besibanenge vele sijabulile kubabona imbali sibonga amakhosi bekusikhuthada nekugcina lamasiko ethu lakhaya nephinze ngijabulile kubona nembali itigcaba kakhulu sijabule kakhulu and siyathemba dochubeka more people will come. Sithanda kakhulu ukuhlangana sonke siyimbali kuhle kakhulu ukubona siyabonga kakhulu.
Lijaha leading Imbali, Shabliso Nzinisa says it is very important to instill and inspire young Maidens to preserve the reed dance ceremony.
Umhlanga lesiko letindombi. Kulisiko letindombi kusukela lo mntwana akhula ayintombatana. Njengaloku kushiwo nje ukuthi lana ngibhamsakhe lelibutho kusuke kungilelincane lelingeke likhone kuhamba indzawo lenze lelibese selingena ke esizini lengisona sithudane ngalomnyaka ngoba kushiye ukuthi ibhamsakhe ngilesizitsi bhamsakhe ligama lalelibutho leli lelingilona lila bese kuthi ke kusuke kufakwa ke lelisiko kusukele emntwaneni uyathi nje ukuthi umntwana nangikhulako ngidawungena ngibe ngibhamsakhe emva kwaloko ngakhulakhula ngativa ngibheke emthombini sengiyawuthatha ke kuba ke intombi sibili so uyahamba kuhamba isifama.
The Maidens have thanked their majesties for giving them such an opportunity to gather in this manner.
Nomkhosi lona usita kakhulu siyimbali because uyasita ukuthi siqhubeke sitigcine njengoba sihlezi sitigcinile banengi insha ihambile yethwele into lekwana lo but thina kuyasita encourage as insha ukuthi siqhubeke sitigcine.
Nami ngijabule kakhulu ukuthi sibuye umkhosi wemhlanga njengoba nje sibonile nomnyaka lophelile ukuthi iCovid isihlukubete kakhulu asikakhona ukuthi kahle nathi sitojabulisa. Nami ngiyajabula ukuthi nje ngilana sitholile mateki tikipa onke nema raincoat sijabule kakhulu shem sithi bayethe wena abaphakathi.
Ngithanda ke kubonga umkhosi wemhlanga nebukhosi bonke lobusilethele lo umkhosi wemhlanga siyabonga kakhulu siyajabula kuhlangana simantombatane ngoba siyakhona ukuthi uyasita kakhulu ukuthi sikhone ukukhuluma kahle tindzaba temantomatane njengoba ngithatha njengeliguma nje lana cause siyakhona ukuthi sibambisane konke lesikwendako.
Lokho kuyasita simantomatane siyacapha ngebuthobi bethu noma vele simatshitshi ngesite lana singasimachitshi. Siyabonga Nkosi ukuthi usilethele uyasinakekela siphilile njengoba nisibona nabatala ekhaya cabanga ukuthi bayajabula kubona abamfaba baphilile sibonge kakhulu ukuthi kusikhomba ukuthi uyasibonelela na siphethe manje lahlobile sinathi manje nawo bengikuphi Inkosi iyayithanda imbali yakho bayethe wena waphakathi.
After cutting the reed, the Maidens then went back to where they were camping to rest so that they wake up with energy the following day as they will be returning back to Lutitini rural residence with the reed. At Lutitini rural residence, the Maidens are expected to prepare for the day of presenting their reed to their majesties and also the main day whereby the Maidens will be showcasing with their dancing skills before their majesties and guests. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia at Luyengo.
The Ministry of Natural Resources notifies the public of a fake statement that is making waves on social media, supposedly from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy, notifying the public of a decrease in petrol and diesel prices with effect from the 1st of September. The ministry says this is a fake statement as there is none such, and the signature of the Principal Secretary of the ministry has been forged. Now, the ministry pleads with the public to desist from doing such, and then the ministry emphasizes that the public will be notified of any adjustments in petrol prices should there be any. Statements have been issued by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy. Now move right along. In 2019, the Luke Commission launched the Snakebite Treatment Unit with an aim of treating snakebite patients. Now at the time, the Luke Commission had no ICU beds. The Luke Commission Executive Director Iko Vanderwal says they received a snakebite patient who was a 6-year-old child who was bitten by a black mamba. She says the Luke Commission team used every available resource to treat the patient and was placed on ventilation for over 36 hours while attempting to find an ICU bed. Unfortunately, she succumbed to death. Now, Vanderwal says after this, she knew that she had to find ICU beds. In 2020, the hospital began to upscale and expand the unit to more than 90 ICU beds, especially at the height of COVID-19. Since the launching of the snakebite treatment unit, the hospital has received 500 snakebite victims over the last 4 years. Vanderwal says with the challenge of the shortage of antivenom, they have learned to collaborate with others. This year, the hospital has cared for 250 snakebite patients, with the highest number, which is the highest number since the snakebite treatment unit was launched. Of these, 62% have been referred from other facilities. They have partnered with Eswatini Anti-Venom Foundation with the supply of antivenom. They found a supply of antivenom, eliminating the long wait for antivenom. On the 22nd of August, the Law Commission received an order of 200 vials of antivenom from the new supplier. They plead with the nation to rush to hospital snakebite victims to get treatment on time. Moving right along, the National Disaster Management Agency CEO Russell Ramini says they are finalizing drought preparedness plan to action to face the El Nino drought, which might hit the country. Ramini says they have put aside funds to face the consequences of the drought. He was speaking during an interview with the Eswatini TV news crew on Thursday.
We are at the stage where we have completed the plan, and we are validating it now with government departments and ministries and key stakeholders, after which government will actually take and own the plan. So, but we also want to say that apart from the drought preparedness and response plan, we did launch a readiness plan for tropical cyclone, given that we would like to avoid crisis management as much as possible in the country. So we want to have plans for all eventualities. So the drought preparedness and response plan is at finalization stage, where we are validating it with key stakeholders, including all key government departments that will be affected by drought. But we also have the tropical cyclone readiness plan. As we know that dry conditions or drought does not mean that there's absolutely no rainfall, but it does mean that there is going to be inadequate soil moisture resulting from inadequate precipitation or rainfall. And when that amount of rainfall comes, you find that you also have storms intermittently, and we need to be ready, for that as well. So we are ready for all eventualities.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission has embarked on a countrywide training of winners of the primary elections on the category of Induna Ngundla, the Member of Parliament, and those that have been nominated for Bukopo. The Communications Officer, Maidens Cut Reed, says those vying for different seats must understand the laws governing the elections.
Next stage after the primary elections, which were held last weekend, is campaigning. The communications officer at the Elections and Boundaries Commission, Maidens Cut Reed, says the trainings are to ensure that everyone understands the laid down laws and procedures of the campaigning process.
Libandla lifuna kuvetela emalunga lawo tabe akhankasa ukuthi kukhankasa kona kuyini, kukhankaswa kanjani, ngitiphi tindzaba letingito lesingatiteka nasibuka yona indzaba yekukhankasa njengaloku live solo liphokophele ukuthi lifuna kuthuthuka. Elukhetheni siyagcizelela lokuthi akusiyo indzaba yokuthi sifuna kuyogcumisela iballot paper eboxini, kepha sifuna kutfola umuntu lotasisita kubona ukuthi nasichubeka njalo siya phambili ngumuphi umcondvo lesingawuthenga kulena lekhona. Ngakho ke labantu laba tabe bahlephulelana lemicondvo kufuna ukuthi nanabo batilungiselele. Nguwo-ke lamalungiselelo lapho khona sitawube sibakhombisa tindzawo letiningi lapho uhulumende abeka khona information nobe imininingwane yakhe ngendzaba yokusebenza, uhulumende uyini, kusebenza kwakhe kunjani, kude ukuthi umuntu nasekakhona nobe nasekakhethiwe esigabeni sesibili akhone kuyosebenza.
Pembe says Bokalajani will also be trained as the workshops will be done in all the 4 regions of the country. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ngamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Nkanini.
Right now, we shift gears into the world of business, where we get a sense of how markets fared today in a financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
You're still keeping it locked yet. Eswatini TV. This is the news bulletin at 8, brought to you by Eswatini TV. We begin our sports roundup with Young Buffalo's ladies team that have bitten the dust when they lost their opening fixture of the 2023 COSAFA Women CAF Champions League qualifiers against the Costa del Sol from Mozambique by 2-1. The game was played at Sugar Ray Xulu Stadium in Durban in the Republic of South Africa.
Begin our sports roundup with the COSAFA CAF Champions League qualifiers, where Young Buffalo's ladies team that is representing the country in the tournament that is ongoing in South Africa have lost their opening game against Costa del Sol from Mozambique by 2-1. Buffalo's one goal was netted by Tanele Ngamparala after 42 minutes into the game, after Costa del Sol had netted twice prior. Buffaloes are in Group C alongside Mamelodi Sundowns ladies team from South Africa, Olympique de Moroni from Comoros, and Costa del Sol from Mozambique. In other news, Athletic Association of Eswatini believes the Mbabane Half Marathon is slowly becoming one of the biggest events of the association that contribute to the development of the sport in the country. This was revealed by the association's treasurer, Bongani Njanjari, during the official launch of the Mbabane Half Marathon 4th edition launch at the Mbabane City Council offices in Mbabane.
The Athletics Eswatini will even this year provide technical assistance to ensure that the event continues to be of international standards. It suffices to say that we are fully supportive of the event and we will continue to ensure and provide assistance for its success. We call upon all Athletics Eswatini clubs, members, and all runners in the country to attend the event in their numbers. Besides the health benefits that are common with running, the event is an opportunity for runners to aid the needed mileage.
And in our international news, Saudi Arabian side Al Ittihad are looking to break the bank and buy Egyptian star Mohamed Salah, who plays for Liverpool in England. Al Ittihad are looking to pay £118 million for the 31-year-old. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
With the sports news, we hit the home stretch of the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of news-making headlines tonight. Inkosatana Sakizwe has led maidens in cutting the reed at Tembisfarm Reed site. Thousands of maidens went to cut the reed at Kapamsak in huge numbers while led by His Majesty's Makosatana. The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Her Royal Highness Princess Kanyiso, says innovation and science is key to the country's economic development. Right, beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, that's all we had for you from the news desk. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us, the rest of the team here at Eswatini TV. For now, it's a good night and God bless.